What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the MMC Remix Jaguar Cel version. So this is a repaint of their Jaguar, which is their version of Masterpiece Ravage. Masterpiece is kind of a question because, you know, what scale do you want? This is obviously bigger than the tapes that come with Soundwave, but smaller than most, Masterpiece figures, so that's up to you. But we will take a look at them. We have looked at one version of this mold before, and that was the TFCon exclusive, basically the translucent version, the stealth version. So I'll bring that in here a little bit later. But here's the cover, really nice cover here. This says 01C for Cel. Here's the back. You open this up just like an old school cassette tape from back in the day. Let me just get up over here. And you pull this out here, and it looks just like a tape. It doesn't have that tape detail. And the reason is, in robot mode, it'd have all that stuff all over it. So they chose not to do that on this guy, so you had a nice, clean Jaguar mode. But inside this, you get the instructions, and you get this collector's card, which is very nice. Looks very cartoony. Here's the back with his tech specs. That's pretty nice. And then you get this instruction manual on how to transform him. But it looks just like that old school tape insert where you could see all the names of the songs on the tape if you ever had tapes back in the day. So pretty cool packaging. I always appreciate packaging like that. But here's the figure. Pretty clean tape. Not much to look at. I'll just bring in a vehicle for comparison. And we are going to look at this Jaguar next to Hound, so that's why I have him here. But obviously a relatively big cassette, so it doesn't scale in this mode. It really isn't meant to anyway. It's really the Jaguar mode that people are excited about. So just wanted to show that. So let's get this transformed. Pretty exactly the same transformation as before, so no change really. And there we have Jaguar Cel all transformed up into his animal mode, and it looks really good. Take a quick 360. I'll point out the paint. So he does have obviously paint on the eyes, on those teeth there. If you open up the mouth, you see there's painted red on the inside of the mouth. This is all just plastic here. The tail is painted sort of a darker grayish green color. You have paint here on the arms, this gray right here. This is die cast and it is painted. Also have die cast back here, and that's painted. Also have die cast in the body, and that's not painted, but there is die cast inside the body, so it's got some really nice weight to it. The back here, obviously these are painted silver. You've got the gray paint here. If I haven't already, I'll put the G1 image up there so you can take a look. But it's a really good looking Jaguar. Let me just bring in the translucent version here. I don't know why, but I really like something about this translucent version. It just kind of stands out to me, and it looks really good. So you can have it kind of pose different ways. I mean, the body has a lot of articulation, but just wanted to show you how he looked next to the translucent. I saw something about the translucent really just speaks to me. All right, let's go over his articulations. The head is on a couple joints, so it's got a ball joint at the base. It's got these two joints here that allow it to twist like that, and you can get it up to there and down all the way down to there. Then obviously the jaw I showed earlier does open up all the way up to there and closes. This time it's pretty tight. On my translucent one it was a little bit on the loose side, but overall still a really good figure. Rotation at the arm joint there. It does go in and out, so you get this outward movement if you need to. You have a full double jointed bend there, mostly for transformation, but it does also bend. And then at the toe, it goes down to there, up to there, and it rotates. So you can get any angle you need to. Very poseable. You do have a bend here and also a bend here. You can kind of change the position of the body, so if you prefer it more compact, you can put it back together. If you prefer it a little bit, longer of a body, you can kind of pull this down, and that'll just kind of extend his body and make his back arch a little bit more, which is kind of cool. Coming back to here, the tail goes up to there, goes all the way back in for mostly for transformation. The back legs are on a joint here, so it goes up to there, rotates all the way around, and goes in and out just a little bit. These cannons can go up and down, and any direction you like. You have a rotation at this joint. You have a really tight rotation here. It goes up to there and back to there. You have a joint here, goes up to there, back to there. And then same thing for the toe. You've got on a ball joint, so it does rotate, and it goes all the way up to there and all the way back to there. Now, the unique thing about this figure is he comes with a cage. So I'm just going to show you how to put this cage together. It comes in panels like this, so this is the top and bottom. It looks like they're interchangeable, doesn't matter. And then you get these two side pieces, and then these two walls. So just make sure you have these with these tabs on the inside. So there's 3 tabs here. Those are going to fit into these 3 slots. And make sure you've got these tabs on the inside. And it's relatively easy to build, so go ahead and take this piece. It's got 2 tabs here and here. Those are going to fit into there. So get that plugged in. And again, make sure you've got the angle right, so you should have the tab slots here. I had it the wrong way. Right, then go ahead and take this one, same thing. Get that plugged in on the bottom. And I wouldn't recommend taking this apart and putting it together too many times. They are tiny little tabs, and I would hate to break them. This is not mine. This was sent to me by Michael Rogers, as I showed in the beginning of the video. So you do want to be careful with these little tabs here. So last piece here, that's going to be the door. Then we're going to take this guy, and this is going on top. Just peg into those pegs. Give it a little bit of push. I would just hold it here and press like that. Then we have the cage, and now we can get Jaguar inside. Close that up. It does have a little peg. It's a little bit tough to open up, but there's a tiny little peg right here. It's not even a peg, it's just a little tab. And that's what holds the door closed. And so he stays inside there. He does come with a little key, so you can pretend to be opening it, so you can stick the key. There is a hole for that key that fits in that hole. You can sit right there. And then he's supposed to be clawing at this. So if you open this back up, you can put this in his claw. There's a little tiny tab on his claw. So you get that in, and you can have him reaching through. He can be kind of grabbing that key. Nice little touch. I personally wouldn't really care for that. I do like the display idea of the cage, but I don't care too much about the key. And for size comparison, and the money shot for this review is there is Jaguar in his cage with the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Hound and the Fans Toys Willis, depending on which one of these you have. It looks good with both. These are about the same size in robot mode. I did not feel like transforming this guy, so I'm going to leave him in vehicle mode. But either way, this looks good. Let's just get him out of the cage here. So here's the scale. We'll just move the cage back here. Here's the scale with the Takara Tomy Hound and with Spike. And that looks pretty good. I mean, he's a big cat, but you can, I guess you could have him riding him or whatever. I don't know. He actually usually just came after him and tried to bite him. But it's a good scale with the bigger Spike. Now, if you try to use the smaller Spike that came with MP10, it just looks too small. So this Spike for once makes sense. So final thoughts on the Jaguar Cel set. You can see I've had some fun taking a couple pictures. Normally I don't spend a lot of time taking the pictures, but this guy really is fun. And the cage and the key and all of that just kind of makes for a good display piece if you're doing something like this, especially if you got a hound and you want to display that. Now if you don't like the Fans Toys Willis Hound, you can bring in the regular Hound. Again, I'm not going to transform this, but there you go. It fits in very well. It looks really good with either Hound. Doesn't really matter. I prefer to just do this one because you got the robot mode ready to go. So great display piece. I think it's a good coloration. I would prefer if it had a little more paint on it. It just seems a little bit lackluster in terms of the paint and the detail. I love the die cast. I love the look of it. I just wish it had a little bit more paint to make it stand out. I mean, maybe, I don't know if it could be metallic paint here and there. I don't know, something. It is a little bit plain because of that flat plastic. But other than that, I really like it. Very nice cage, very nice figure, and just overall a good display piece. So I do recommend it. That's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.